So he convinced someone to give him another chance, huh? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that was past the days when we would hire anyone. I mean,
I believe in second chance. I'm probably on my 8th second chance.
Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
goodness gracious. If it was up to me, I would have blown it all. I tried to get rich really quick, and I took a couple $100,000 and blew it all in the stock market. And my wife stayed with me.
Yes,
And
indeed.
let me tell you what, that's painful. $200,000 not a lot of money, though. When that's all you got.
To who?
That's right. That's right. Compared to who, right?
Yeah, right. To
Well,
who?
no, it's a lot of money. I'm just saying that because sometimes I know I'm talking to people who got a couple of millions, and they're like, but even to people that have a couple of million and 10 million, $200,000 is a lot of money. Maybe they understand the value of it better.
Absolutely.
But hey, I think this is it. I think it's all of us. So let me I want to thank Aaron. Thank you for being here. Hey, are you guys getting anything out of this? Or are you just showing up because you really just want to support the poor guy?
No comment. No, I'm just playing. Absolutely.
No, you're good, man.
I'm getting education out of it, most definitely.
Absolutely, Robert. Bring it.
Applicable? Have you found anything applicable in what we talk about?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, when it comes to leadership and strategies and stuff, we all continually, in my opinion, need to hear it over and over and over again. And it's delivered differently from different people. The message, and I get things at certain time that I don't, it's like going back and reading a book. I'll read a passage, I'll go, damn, it means something completely different to me this time. So, whether it's in the morning with Joe and Eric on Sundays, or the mastermind on Tuesday nights, or with Paul on Sunday nights, or whatever, and all the other things that all of us are involved in, I think we gravitate towards people because we like to hear this stuff over and over again, to check boxes and stay on the edge,
Yeah.
Absolutely, Russ.
I think you're right, and I think that leadership is kind of like bathing, and then sometimes you need a vacation. So let's say bathe every day, but then every now and then you need to just sit in the jacuzzi and soak in it.
Well, no, I don't bathe every day. I do occasionally, but I'll shower every day at least,
There you go. See, shower every day, but you'll have to sit in a jacuzzi every now and then just to soak it up. And so we try to soak it up a little bit. Although, I promised that today we're not going over 9:07.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Well,
stop.
Michael Barrett was going to pop in here, but I think he got sidetracked. I just saw him a little while ago because we're out here at Tampa at Digital Dealer.
Oh,
And
that's right. That's right.
yeah, he's he went to some he was going to this VIP party, but what he doesn't know is the party's tomorrow night, not tonight. So whatever party he ended up with, I'm really not sure, but it's not the one he had the badge for. Anyway, it's funny.
But see, he was mad. He was mad because I didn't call him or something right before last week. So and then I talked trash about him. Please don't tell him.
No, I reminded him.
Daryl's going to tell him. Daryl's going to tell him.
Daryl, you tell him, man.
That's my boy. My boy.
That's but see, the thing is, my father-in-law, who says nothing good, he does say one thing good. He says when two people agree about everything, at least one of them's an idiot. So, this is group where if we had to agree on everything out of respect, I mean, that would be just the dumbest thing. But anyways, we talked about it last week, and I told you guys about my friend who was a pilot, an Air Force C-17 big cargo plane. We got about 30 of them here in Charleston, and a corporate jet pilot, and how her PE teacher in Waterbury, Connecticut. I looked it up after. I said, let me see how Waterbury, Connecticut is doing today. Unemployment 13%, even to the day. I mean, it was even worse back then. Waterbury is just a depressed town. And anyways, the PE teacher is the one that told her and her classmates that you can do anything that you can commit to. Not something you'll be interested in, but something you're committed to. So I asked you guys to say, hey, Just think of someone that who's that person that you can be that PE teacher for. And someone told me this last week, someone that's been with us for 10 years at our business, she said, Robert, I don't know how y'all put up with me. I was so angry. I was so angry at everybody. I was angry at the world. I was angry at everything. She wanted to quit 7 times, but then every time she would go, I said, her name is Sandra. I said, Sandra, I was going to tell you before you go that wherever you go, there you are. And they're going to ask you the same things. They're going to ask you to be kind. They're going to ask you to be productive. But guess what? None of those people are as big of an idiot as I am, that I just love you the way you are. I know you're mad right now because I gave you a job that the customer needed, and we needed to get it out. And you think that at some other place, they're not going to give you jobs you don't like. They're going to give you more. You know, and anyway, Sandra said this Friday, she said that, man, I'm a new person. She went to anger management. I mean, we waited a few years. She was always a good producer, and she didn't really affect other people. She affected the management. She never really had any beef with coworkers. She just hated management. She hated everybody that's in management, and she wasn't a social person with anybody else. But hey, that was for us. That's one person that now is offering to do things right away, like Jerry Davis said the other day about the guy with the transmission. Oh man, I mean, I had 2 guys try to shoot me, technicians, because I assigned him. One guy, I assigned him a fuel sending unit on a Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock, and he never felt like working then because he already turned 70 hours. It was a Honda shop. And he said, man, I ain't doing no fuel sending unit. I said, oh, well, Ronnie, it's a good thing that you took all the good gravy work from this woman over the years. She bought every single service we ever recommended, but now she can't read the fuel gauge, and you don't want to help her. It's about a 15-minute job for you. But anyway, so this is how this woman was, and now she'll do anything. She volunteered to do stuff. So I love it. You know, there is transformation when I mean, obviously the environment's got to be right for it, because you can't allow someone that will ruin your whole environment. But so I'm going through this. It's a crazy thing, you know. I think it works. You know, the leadership model that somehow fell into my lap one day, that goes by the name of MITCH. And think of MITCH as a service manager, as the model service manager, as the badass service manager who loves his team, loves his customers, and everything. Oh, sorry, I can't say those words. Sorry, Eric. I'm not saying any more words like that. Sorry, kids. I mean, bad as all get out is what I meant. What I meant to say. Anyway, so
my son has heard much worse. Do not even worry about it.
Well, y'all drive safe. So, anyways, but the thing is, what happens if you got so we talked about modeling integrity, modeling the vision as a leader, and then we talked about inspiring by getting interested in people and showing up in a state of flow, in the zone. You know, flow is the thing when you flow, when you're really in the zone. Get yourself in the zone. There's no other way that's worth showing up. It's a darn challenge now. I mean, for some of us, you know, because some of us don't wake up already, and pumped up. But we got to get ourselves somehow into the mindset of over-the-top service, of exceptional service with a smile to every single customer, right? And serving every single employee. So the third one is, we said, model, inspire, teach. So this is the teach. Because what happens if you got an untrained team member? An untrained team member is an unhappy team member. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
To me, someone who's untrained, they waste every opportunity. They waste a lot of opportunity, not every opportunity. They won't waste the things that fall right into their lap. But often they run circles around something that someone else could maybe diagnose in half an hour. They'll tell you, I need 3 hours diagnostic. And here he's running circles around something. He doesn't know how to diagnose wiring. Maybe he told you he could, but he can't. And then by the time he's done with that, he's frustrated. He won't do the MPI. So he's basically sucking up the good work too. He's sucking up the work from the shop. He'll fly. He pencil whips those MPIs or whatever, digital finger whips. But he's really costing the shop a lot of money. Burns through ROs. They're bad for sales and profit. They're bad for team morale. Bad for CSI. They're bad for employee and customer retention. If you got somebody untrained and you let them. And it's funny, I said the name Ronnie earlier. Ronnie refused to go to Honda school anymore because he was this was in 1998. They had so much gravy, so many timing belts, so much valve adjustments, and all that Ronnie was able to get away with not going to school. So every time a diagnostic would come in, give it to new boy. I ain't doing that. He never learned how to use a scan tool. They let him get away with it. They left it for me to deal with. But anyways, a fully trained team member is the exact opposite, right? They're happy. They're good for profit. They're going to maximize every opportunity. They create opportunities serving the customers. And they're good for retention and for employee morale, right? So why would we train? I think we need to think of training and education as a retention tool. I mean, besides the fact that it's just really good for profit, right? But it's a retention tool because it really shows your employees that you care when you train them. And I mean, what kind of training or who can do training? I mean, the manager, right? I think I've heard it said that the greatest leaders repeat themselves a lot. I heard one time one parishioner walked up to a preacher and said, "Preacher, you preaching this message, this is the same message you preached last Sunday. As a matter of fact, the same message you preached the Sunday before. I almost know it by heart." And the preacher said, "Hey, let me know when you know it by heart, and I'll preach a new message." So leaders got to repeat themselves quite a bit. The vision, what do we stand for? You know, I don't want to be any misunderstanding at all. What do we stand for? Because when I'm not there, I want any one of my employees to know, what would the leader do? What would Joe do? What would Aaron do? I know exactly what he would do. He would do the right thing. Then he would do the first thing first. So the best definition that I found for teaching is out of a book. It's called The 7 Laws of the Learner. And to teach in this book, it says, is to cause someone to learn to the point of implementation. To teach is not to present material, but to teach is to grab the attention of the students. And this guy, this teacher, he was a teacher at university, professor. He made sure that every single student is there, like eye contact. He wouldn't start teaching until everybody, and he made sure they actually got the material. So I love it. You know, a teacher that just basically presents material, that's not teaching. I mean, they call it lecturing for a reason, maybe at some universities, right? They're lecturing because it's not really, they don't really verify it, they know. They'll verify it on the day of the test. But that's too late. That's reactive. So apprenticeship, I mean, hey, any of you guys got a good apprenticeship program in your dealership?
Think so.
Yes, sir. I think it's good anyway.
That's good. But you got an apprenticeship program, right?
Yes.
That's awesome. And hey, I know Ed's everywhere, Ed Roberts, but hey, they've achieved something. So I have to say, great job, Ed. They've got a team system where they have 2 technicians working on each car. So between the 2 of them, one of them's got a strength in this area, one of them's got a strength in that area. But when I was a service manager, I would get the technician that knew how to diagnose EVAP systems to present on that. We'd say, hey, let's get everybody together and walk us through this. Or the shop foreman, have to be the shop foreman in this case, but walk everybody through this. How do you go through the EVAP system? The electrical guy, how do you find a short? You know, hey, there's an easy way and there's a hard way to find a short. And there were guys that were really good at that. You can have your technicians do some teaching too, other than the formal certification. But when you see someone's got trouble, I would not let them struggle. You got to get some teaching going. And I love John Maxwell, but it's not really just John Maxwell. You find this 5-step method in a lot of places. But when you pass on a skill, first you would do, I do, and you're with me. You observe what I do. Second, I do, you help me. Third, you do, and I help you. So we switch places. And then depending on the skill, you got to make sure that the person started to understand what you're doing. And this could be with a service advisor. You got to make sure they understand. And then I do, let's say, talking about, I don't know how many of you guys saw this America's Funniest Service RO that I put on LinkedIn the other day. Have you guys seen the America's Funniest RO?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's 11 lines of vagueness. I mean, that guy really would have benefited from someone being there and say, hey, let me show you how we do this. And then I'm going to do it. I'll type in why we need to do this service. So when this woman goes home to the husband, she can actually show it on paper, say, because this happened to be my mom, went home to my dad. And it's like, I don't know if you guys saw the one where they said that it needs a fuel injection service because it burns fossil fuels. Basically, if you translate that to basic language, it means because it burns gasoline. And I explained it to my kids. I said, kids, let me tell you, remember how we put gas in the car every week for $75? And like, yep. Okay, the gas goes in the tank, and then through some fuel line, it goes all the way up to the engine. Then it goes to the fuel pump, the fuel pump pumps it through the filter, all that, through the injectors. And the injectors get all kinds of deposits, and they can get kind of clogged over time. And what could happen, one of those injectors eventually may not put all the fuel in there that it's supposed to put, and it's going to malfunction, and you don't know when it's going to happen. It may never happen, but if you're on a long trip, it happens to you. Your engine's going to start running rough. Mom's going to get scared. Next thing you know, there's a fight in the car, and I mean, all hell breaks loose. And my kids got it, 8 and 10-year-old. Said, oh, okay. I said, Daddy, let's get a fuel injection service. But anyway, someone's got to be there. And this guy just totally, they skipped the teaching part. CV axle needs replaced. Due to condition of CV axle. That was the explanation. Brake pads need to be replaced. Due to condition of brake pads. Doesn't say how many millimeters or percentage or whatever, or metal to metal. You need to do it today. No colors. They didn't show any of the MPI sheet. So lack of training, right? So the only way you got to verify. So, but I got to, with the little time that we got left, I want to tell you guys about a few things and tell me if any of you do any of this. So who can teach? The manager can teach vision. So repeat yourself until the technicians say, and the service advisor say, yeah, I know complete care. Yeah, all right, boss, I know complete care. Yeah, I get it. Okay, complete care every time. Let's kindly and gently present everything that these cars need without pressure, but let's present it all every time. How often? Just every time. I mean, tell them, don't be afraid. And obviously, if you trained on the welcome, Sean Butler was on Sean Welsh's thing. I don't know if you guys listened to his thing. And he said he hired a porter that, and he told him that his job is to greet customers if he was the happiest MF for that customer showing up that day. I was like, okay, well, if he's got that attitude, that's going to go a long way. I find that saves a lot of troubles. That saves us in a lot of situations. Man, invest a lot of time in their welcome. Go over the top on the welcome, because that customer might be coming in with a complaint, and you said, hello, welcome, what's up, how y'all doing? I'm so glad you came in today. Tell me what you got. And he said, well, shit, I was going to complain. And this dude here comes out all happy, Zig Ziglar's got some good stuff to say about it. Say, when they come in early, you say good evening or whatever. But laugh, laugh a little. And the welcome is the big deal. The laminator ain't my thing. That was just a metaphor for something. But if anything, I would brand myself as the welcomist, because I believe in the power of welcome so much that if you welcome people right, then it opens the door to a great process where they'll listen to you, and it has to be just like, guys are dogs, right? So guys, we can compare guys to dogs, but people are like dogs. A dog will sense if you're afraid. A dog will sense if you got bad intentions. An animal will sense if you got bad intentions. And we are that way. If we can sense if there's something in the air, the person's got bad intentions, even if they're smiling, they're going to sense that. So it's good to work up this attitude within ourselves and help our people have that attitude that I'm here to help. I'm here to genuinely make these people's day great. So what time is it? Oh man, I got a minute. All right, so really quick. So what do we teach? We got to teach our people to do the right thing always, to do the first thing first. These are the basics. You got to teach them some study skills. You got to teach them how to get on a growth pattern. If they want to reach their full potential, help them how to study, how to put together that curriculum, put together that personal development file for them. Interpersonal skills for technician, interpersonal skills for parts people. And I've had meetings with my technicians, and one technician that moved down here from upstate New York, he was a Ford technician, but became a Kia technician down here. He said, Robert, in 23 years of working on cars, I never had a meeting like this where we would learn a little bit about the rest of the business and interpersonal skills and the things that really, really make our department work and how it affects the customers, what makes the customers buy. And he was like, man, we really appreciate that. We didn't do a lot of it, but we did a little bit. And I'll have to show you guys. I did a thing with some cups upside down where I had dollar bills. One of them had a $100 bill. One of them had the dollar bill. The other one had a $5 bill. And I put out about 10 of them. And I said, now, let's say these are your cars that come into your shop, and I'm going to finish with this. And you randomly pick which one you're going to do an MPI on. And they randomly, I said, I'll let you pick 3. Those will represent the complete MPIs. And they would pick 3. And every now and then they would pick the $100 one, but most often they pick the smaller ones. And I said, the lesson is if you get 10 cars, you got to do 10 good inspections. It's simple. If you don't do 10 good inspections, the averages don't work for you. So you got to teach team building skills. You got to teach how to welcome new hires into the team. We got to teach health, fitness, lifestyle, mental health. We got to teach some life skills and bring in some financial experts and help your people put together a good plan for retirement. And some of them will not do anything with it, but most of them will really appreciate it when we teach a little bit more than just the required skills for technical skills and the required certification. So it goes towards retention. It goes to say that people say, hey, I feel like I matter, like you really care for me. So that's the point of this, that besides the fact that financially it's going to affect every department, they say when the leader gets better, everyone gets better. But when the team members get better, everyone also gets better. Hey, we're over 2 minutes. So that's all I got tonight. Thank you all so much. I don't know if you got anything, anybody good, some good teaching program that you got going on?
Dude, it was a lot better flow tonight. You killed it. Good job.
Well, I'll tell you a secret. Last week, I counted on my buddy coming in and taking over, and he couldn't make it at the last minute. So I was like, yeah,
Wow.
no, I
Regardless, that was good. I appreciate it. Thanks.
thank you. I had too much material last night. And by the way, I do want to hear your feedback. Send it to me privately and be honest. Not like Russell. He just blew a bunch of smoke up my rear end. He said, "Oh man, you're good. You're good." He's all encouraging. No, I mean I really appreciate it. But hey, so send your comments to idon'tcare.com.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate
Oh
it.
man, I'm messing with you. No, really. I genuinely need the feedback, and I realize that I got a long ways to go on this. This screen thing is still something we gotta keep getting better at.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, dudes. Appreciate it. We'll see you.
Thank you guys. Have a good night. Thank you all so much for coming.
All right, fellas, have a good one. Thanks, Robert.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.